I can barely see him. Yes, family, here we are again. Thank you, son. Here we are again, family. First and foremost, all praise to the Most High in the name of His Son Yeshua. I just want to let y'all know, is this video titled Red Pants Did It? That's exactly right. Red Pants did it. I told y'all, keep an eye for Red Pants. Here we is. 1 minute and 46 seconds and 53, or 41 minute and 46, like dot 53 in the video. And Derek Chauvin's lawyer, defense attorney, is asking the witness, who actually was the clerk who worked at the store, were you dealing with any other, fake money during that day? And he said, yeah, earlier that day. And he said, okay, by whom? And he said, well, I don't know how he said it, but I'm going to play the video for y'all. Listen here. Y'all know what we call them, red pants.
And the tobacco shop is separate because you have to be a certain age.
Oh, this is that one part. Let me go up a little bit. All right, right there. Let me see. I hope that's the one.
All right. Is within the store, is there a partition or some sort of glass that inside the store separates the tobacco area from...
Peep game how Derek Chauvin is all attentive right now. He ain't writing.
Like, do you have to walk out through the convenience store door and go into the tobacco store door, or is there a separate entrance where you can get into the tobacco?
So while his lawyer's talking, he's all eyes and ears.
If you were the cashier, right?
Oh, you can just walk over to the tobacco section.
He just asked him, was there a need for there to be a separation in the store for the tobacco side? Take heed, y'all.
No worries. All right. And you were in the store and you observed a person who you later learned was George Floyd come into the store.
Correct.
And you ultimately assisted him in the store.
Correct.
And he was in the store, and the person that you observed in the front passenger seat was also in the videos we just watched, right?
Correct.
The one in the passenger seat, he finna tell y'all, was the one with the red pants, family. He was also a Zion. Go in your room.
A pair of red sweatpants and a white T-shirt, I believe.
Correct.
All right. And did you have any interactions with him while you were in the store?
Correct.
I believe you said that he had also attempted to use a counterfeit bill.
Correct.
But you stopped him.
Correct.
Did that happen before or after your interaction with Mr. Floyd?
Before.
All right. And so,
boom.
When he handed you that bill, you knew that bill was a problem.
Correct.
Boom. There you have it, Mr. Red Pants. Before Derek, George Floyd even got an opportunity to go to the counter. Y'all saw on the camera. If you didn't see, you can see. He was standing in the aisle where the people wait in line, whatever, for some time. He did not go first. So the man in the red pants, he went first to do it. He also in different areas, after going by the cell phone area, after like going where George Floyd was at, would come out counting money. So he must have had a lot of fake bills. And when they came outside to the store by the passenger side, I think he handed them another fake one and he ripped it up. So take heed, family. The one that actually gave the fake money, Mr. Red Pants, he's still living. And I wonder how Red Pants felt when he seen George Floyd on the whole story on the news. And then they say, all because of a $20 counterfeit $20 bill. Can you imagine? I bet you he getting less than 20 nights of sleep. I guarantee you that. For $20. Now, this is just off of what they're saying, but I'm trying to figure out when the part where the policy, the only thing he's concerned about is it's coming out your check. But why wouldn't the first policy be you get a marker and you mark the money to see if it's even counterfeit or not? You can't rely off your own eyeball game. Because you could be possibly wrong.
He might have did it in the house. Yeah.
But I'm sure he would have mentioned that though.
Yeah, he should.
So he just said here, man with the red pants, hand him that money. And he said no.
And you immediately kind of said, hey, I'm not taking this bill.
Correct.
Right? You knew the store policy at that time, right?
Correct.
And the store policy being if you took a counterfeit bill,
See, he just repeating himself.
that became your responsibility.
Correct.
And so it would get deducted from your paycheck, in other words.
Correct.
And you have some sort of like store tab where you could buy merchandise yourself at the store or services, and it would get deducted from your salary.
Correct.
All right. And so that interaction with that other individual, approximately, was it earlier in the day? Was it, a few minutes before you interacted with Mr. Floyd? How long before did that happen?
Earlier in the day.
So
Earlier in the day.
Like I
and that
said.
individual had been in the store earlier in the day as well, right?
Correct.
So explain to me why the cops wasn't called on him. If the man,
he didn't talk to him, so he had information. But when they watched the film, trust and believe, it's all gonna come to a head.
what's amazing to me is that the obvious connection between Mr. George Floyd and the red pants man wasn't as obvious on like you would have thought they weren't really in together. And there was a moment there where George was like on his process of probably getting ready to make a purchase, and he was digging in his pockets, and the dude handed him something. Like as if they already know I ain't gonna be able to get the money, so here you try to do it. Hey, red pants. You know what the Bible says about if you entice your brother to do something evil? Oh, and blood be spilled according to that because of that act you just did? I want you to know, red pants, wherever you're at, that blood's on your hands, buddy. And I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but you really want to try to get right with the Most High before the Maker, before the man gets you. See, it's a terrible thing to fall into the hands of the Most High. Because see, people think that you can get away with a little spiteful, wicked stuff. You can't. So Paul, let me tell you something. George Floyd could have been so under the influence, he didn't even know he was getting handed a fake $20 bill.
Well, we don't know.
No, honestly, think about the scene. Because see, when you grow up in the hood, you know certain things. So you could just put it in your mind like this. George Floyd's the one driving. He got the vehicle, right? They asked for a ride. They probably want to, can you take me to the store? I'll smoke with you, whatever. Let's put in on the stuff. Because see, they probably made this fake money to get the drug dealer guys. Now you want to go to the store and get some cigarettes. And if you give me a ride to the store, I'll get us a pack of cigarettes. That's just how they be. Like, one person do one thing and they try to benefit everybody for whatever. Because I peeped how when the cops came to the car and they, was like questioning. First of all, as I wrote in my notes, first we got Mr. Chow Mein pushing minors twice. Okay. Also, the cops never got the statement from the employees. So we already could tell right off the gate what the mindset and intentions of the police officers were. Nothing that they did and performed was typical of let us do our job, as in get the statement of the person who called. You explain to us what happened. Then we question the subject. We're just going to go straight to the car and they're already predeemed to be guilty. Mind you, there's more than one person in the vehicle. Okay. He states here, the young man just stated here that earlier in that day, Mr. Red Pants did try to give a fake dollar bill on $20. He rejected it. So just because you rejected it isn't something that you probably should have overlooked when George Floyd, another person, hands the same money. And you didn't have enough eyeball game to see and observe that he did pass him the money. And you look at the camera, they're socializing, they're kikiing and laughing and all that jazz. Of course. Whether George Floyd was aware of it or not, we don't know that because George Floyd's not here to defend himself. But the point of the matter is this. The one who attempted to do it first pass it over to somebody who's not here no more. And then the other woman who was with them, the sister, she's walking around.
Yeah.
And then after George Floyd went outside, she went out.
It's scary. Mhm. They took too long in the store.
Next note, using normal expressions. This is my examination concerning the defense. They're trying to use normal expressions as a possible threat, or for to say angry, or to have possibly made the cops be under pressure. Would you say that the crowd was angry? Would you say that the crowd was angry? Explain to me. What person with a normal human expression would have not expressed some form of anger, frustration, and like, oh my gosh, alert,
Police brutality.
for police brutality.
Murder in the street.
And the level that he did that. As the man also stated here, that while George Floyd was limped and not moving, he seemed rest. He seemed comfortable. He seemed set, like he put his flag down, like, and I won't move. There was a young child out there, a young girl out there, young lady. There were people of different ages, and those who we didn't even see probably could have been in their windows watching. A lot of people were affected by this, and they want to act. How? Okay, explain to me any people out there who may be on the want to call themselves neutral side. Explain to me if it was your pet or your family member on that street like that. What is the appropriate expression that you would have had? Also, I saw some violations of COVID restrictions. I'm just going to mention that. There were no masks, no one wearing masks in the store. Now, if that's his business, if someone just felt it's okay to just, he had X tapes on the floor. If it's okay to just wear, stand by the X's where the X marked the spot, then so be it. That's his business. But that's a little that is what it is. Like, I'm not mad at because some people just like, y'all. I remember I told you my journey with the Most High had me challenge my faith and go in the store not wearing a mask. So yeah, but I noticed a person was standing outside the store by a green bike with a fro. He had a mask on his face. The young man working in the store said he didn't feel safe. I guess he didn't feel safe because after realizing, people found out he was the one that the manager told to call cops, but he said on the camera he was not the one that called the cops. He felt overwhelmed. And also, last but not least, just so far, I'm sharing my notes with you all as observing. Derek was absolutely paying attention while his defense attorney was talking about, while everybody else has been speaking throughout this whole thing. He's been doodling and writing. So I'm looking out at the characteristics and the personality of Derek. He's a very disrespectful, nasty demon. A very disrespectful demon. He writes, like they say they're showing a camera, and you can tell he was looking up. When the camera's on him, he gets to writing, but look up real quick, like as if I want to go back to seeing what I was looking at. So cops never got a statement from the young man who was the employee clerk who actually sold the cigarettes. They immediately went straight to the scene and just, put the cuffs on them. And I don't remember hearing any Miranda rights. And they only arrested one person, though there were more than one people in the store, but they only came for the person who sold or who bought the cigarettes, which was George Floyd. Mind you, other people, another person, Red Pants, who attempted to make a purchase but was rejected. So you can tell when the young man called, it wasn't no intention of him to just get the cops on somebody. If that can help the safety of this man, because he said he feels convicted. I mean, he feels guilty. He said if I would have just simply not took the money, then this wouldn't have happened. Yeah, because you didn't take the money from the Red Pants, and Red Pants is still living. But Red Pants is the one who tried to pass the money over and actually passed the money over to George Floyd, and he is not with us today. So that's just what I have so far concerning this issue, this trial, and I'm going to continue to watch it. But here's another note. Insensitive managers, insensitive store manager. That's what's for you. Manager told him to come in the store and work inside while this whole situation is going on. Now, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be funny, but what human being can continue to work under these conditions? Guess what? Soups, a cup of soup cups. I don't know what your name is. This is all in front of your business. I honestly believe during COVID-19, I don't think you could afford that. I don't know how your business is doing now, but if you had any heart, I've known places living in the hood where the things like cops going on in front of business stores, and the store people for smart business mind would have came outside and even asked the officers, hey, could you not do this in this kind of way? This is not good for my business. But he wants to tell people to come back and go to work. So he didn't show an expression of humanitarian appetite towards this whole scenario. He wanted his people to not give a John Brown and go back to work for him. But when the whole situation occurred, he was the one telling the young man to simply call the cops. In other words, you deal with it. I'm not going to get shot up or beat up from one of your own. You deal with it. You're the one who took the money. I mean, he's not wrong for saying it. He has the right to say that. I mean, it's the option he chose. However, you didn't have a problem going outside telling him to come in the store, though. So, manager, you don't have any. So what I'm trying to say is, manager, don't try to act like you feel some kind of way for George Floyd, or when the Most High brings a judgment concerning you and your store and your business, because you're going to receive a judgment. First of all, you're going to receive a judgment because you're selling my people cigarettes and all other crap. All right? You're going to receive a judgment for that. And thirdly, I just want you to receive a judgment because you didn't have any sympathy for someone in front of your store that lost their life. And that every time somebody go by that store, they're not going to see a cup of soup cups. They're going to remember George Floyd was brutally killed right here. And that's going to leave a bad taste in your store, because when I went to a summer pool in summertime, a young black male was he drowned. He was with a guy's group home, and he drowned in this pool. And this pool was a bunch of white people and Amish folk. And I was just like, I can't believe this. I was just startled at how they did not show the quick response to save his life. And after that, people didn't really go to that pool again. So I'm just saying, that's just what it is. So I covered that, the COVID restrictions. Now that somebody might snitch and say, hey, you weren't wearing a mask and you were violating mask restrictions. I'm just saying. So it is what it is, fam. I'm going to finish watching this and taking some more notes. If y'all are going to tune in, so be it. If not, this trial is too much for y'all, can understand. But if you don't want to watch it, hey, it is what it is. If you are watching it, tell me what you think, and let me know what you perceive of the video in this trial and what's going on. So far so good, family. With the notes, I think I got some good stuff. But not only am I taking notes, but I'm definitely gonna take these things in prayer. Like, it's not that I want to see Red Pants in trouble. I would prefer, I would appreciate it if Red Pants would have not done what he did, because not only you got red pants on, but you got blood on your hands. So you got red pants and you got blood on your hands, and you run around here with fake money, and that's not cool. And if you're doing drugs, you're probably now, when some drug dealers that you probably got some drugs from, they're probably connecting dots now. Like, whoa, wait a minute now. Like, didn't I just serve so-and-so? You reap what you sow. That's what the way the word goes. So if you cause someone to lose their life, when it comes back, when you sow a seed, you're gonna get back more than what you put down. That's all I'm saying. So Red Pants, I hope you get right with the Most High before that last breath be taken from you. That's all I'm gonna say. Peace and blessings to your family. That's a daggone shame. Red Pants.